I know. Well, I have a little bit ace in my sleeve. I'm part Mexican and part Indian, so it's a lot tougher for Southern Poverty Law Center to smear me as some white supremacist.
Well, they don't care. They don't care.
Well,
I mean, they run most of those groups, and that's come out in the news over and over again. They'll just have their people show up at your events. Now, they'll have their employees show up. Now, expanding on this, though, they kept saying that it wasn't true that there's FEMA camps, or wasn't true that they're training foreign troops, or wasn't true that the military's training to take our guns, when there's drills all over the place going on for this. You want to respond to that?
Well, like with Colonel Hathgood of the Iowa National Guard, I called him back then, too. And I said, why are you doing this training? He said, well, it's because we don't have a dedicated MOUT facility, military operations and urban terrain in Iowa. That's why we have to go house to house to prepare them to go to Afghanistan.
But that was after they told the newspaper it was for a gun confiscation drill.
Oh, no, he admitted that. He says, it's gun dealers in Afghanistan. But here's the thing. He was lying. There is we found one. There's a dedicated MOUT facility. I think it's called Mount Hood or Camp Fort Hood in Iowa. That is like a fake city they can go train in. So he was lying to me. He lied to you too. So that's what really kind of got me. That was actually when I started Oath Keepers. Right then. I'd already had the idea. That's when I was like, okay, it's time to do this now, because they're, like you said, after a while, you see this pattern of training, and they always say, well, we're just training them so they go home and go do this and that. Like they had Uzbekistan troops up in Montana during the recent National Guard training up there. And yes, they're coming in, they're officers observing the training, but what are they there for? Is it only just to go back home to Uzbekistan? I mean, come on, So after a while, you have to say, look, you don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. You keep doing all these things. The infrastructure pattern.
I know you're hot. I've never heard you like this, Stewart, but we got a family show, so cool down,
okay,
big man.
Sorry.
And no, it's okay. But I mean, look, what do you want to say directly to the slimes at Slime Ball and to the Southern Poverty Slime Center? What do you want to say directly to them? I mean, these are the guys that invoke race and create division through balkanization, through tribalism to manage our society. I mean, Chris Matthews has already blown all his credibility.
Well, that's just it. I'll just tell them, look, the more you scream and yell and flail, the worse it's going to be for you. You're just going to sink deeper into your own fucking cesspool. I'm sorry, Alex. You're going to sink deeper into your own cesspool because that's what they're doing is they're just exposing. It's becoming ridiculous. They're jumping the shark. I mean, everyone's a terrorist. Everyone's a racist across the entire spectrum of the freedom movement. So after a while, it becomes so absurd, and it's going to backfire on them. So I tell them, go ahead, keep going.
Stewart, again, I've never heard you this fired up. I just want to point out that well, just hold on a minute. We got to stop right here for a moment. In Fall of the Republic, we have a 20-minute extra. I need to send this to you. That was our interviews with you at Lexington Green this year, and some other Oath Keepers. That is the extras for Fall of the Republic, and it's very, very important information there. Obviously, the establishment is really worried about the police and military waking up. That's what Jack McClam has done for decades. Where do you see all this going as Obama has the lowest approval rating of any president ever, as it's falling even faster now? Where do you see all this going? Well, I mean, my concern is that you might have a catalyst event that would cause them to, try to jump into emergency mode, whether it's an economic collapse or whatever else. That's the biggest danger. That's been, like you pointed out before, it's a historic danger. It's not conspiracy theory. I mean, Northwoods was real. The Reichstag fire was real. This is what's done throughout history. Whether it's accidental or intentional, that's what I'm concerned about, is that, like with economic collapse, for example, that could be something that could, throw everybody into turmoil and fear and make them accept emergency rule. But I think the bottom line is that they go too far, and everything they say is a slap in the face of the veterans and a slap in the face of the police officers. What they're telling them really is, because they know it's nonsense. They know all this insinuation that we're racist or that we're affiliated with terrorists is bullshit. But they know. Stewart, I'm going to have to put you on hold. Okay, I can't. I'm going to put you on hold right now. Okay, because I can't have that here. And I don't want to censor and cut you off or start delaying you, but I'm going to have to. I've never heard you this hot, and I understand you're mad, but. We're going to go to break, and I'm going to talk to Stewart in a moment. This is something else here today. This is all very, very serious what we're dealing with. And a lot of military veterans and police and people are very upset because for decades they denied that this tyranny was taking place. And then now the New World Order is being announced. The world government is being set up. All of this is unfolding, and the tyranny is real. The FEMA camps are real. The foreign troops training are real. I remember seeing in the Toronto Star and a bunch of other papers, U.S., Canadian, and Mexican generals meet to prepare to deal with terrorism. They are really setting this up. This is really happening. We're going to go to break here in a moment and come back with Stewart. I needed to do this anyways, tell you about some final sponsors here before we do the final segment with Stewart Rhodes of Oath Keepers, oathkeepers.org here today. Diginet.net. One thing that everybody can arm themselves with in the info war is video cameras, and the best prices and the best quality are at Diginet.net. They have little pens that record audio and video and timestamps. You can use it in court. They have sunglasses that have a tiny camera and tiny chip that can record hours of audio and video. It's all at Diginet.net, Diganet.net, Diginet.net. And you can also give them a call at 888-344-6681. Tell them Alex Jones sent you to get some of the best deals there. Again, that's Diginet.net, Diganet.net, or 888. That's 888-344-6681. That's 888-344-6681. And we will continue with Stewart Rhodes on the other side here today in what is certainly shaping up to be a hot interview. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.